Well, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever it is to you. I did it again. I just love these bait runners. I saw a deal on this one, and I just had to have it. I got the box and extra spool with it too. She's in good shape. I don't think this reel's ever been used. If it has, it's very light. Very, very light. It's a 4500B. Doesn't say B on anywhere, but that's what it is. It's just some more Shimano stuff. We're not going to tell you what it is. You're just going to have to guess at it when you go to get parts. This reel shouldn't need anything. I sure hope it doesn't need any bearings, because I've got 4 reels sitting here waiting on bearings because the kits I ordered were wrong. Every one of them. Including my other bait runner. That video will probably come out after this one does. We're going to go into the drag system here and take a look at it. This says the waterproof drag system. It's got a seal on it up here. That's what holds the drags in. The seal comes out, and then your whole drag stack just pulls right out of it. God, look how pretty it is. There is literally no dirt on that drag. That is something else, man. I am happy about that. I don't even need to wipe that down. That's incredible. Maybe the outer thing, just a little bit of grunge from the dust. I'll clean the spool up and the knob. All right, let's take the handle off. It's got the original handle, thank goodness. I've got a 3500 that does not have the original, and I swear I think that will fit that 3500. If it does, I'm going to try to find this particular handle. And so to get the cover off, you have to remove the lever back here. Usually it's in there pretty good. Oh no, that was perfect. The first time I did one of these bait runners, I was really intimidated. There's a lot of extra moving parts in these reels. But I'll tell you what right now, a rear drag Shimano will make you pull your damn hair out. These aren't really rear drag. They are, but they're not. Does that make sense? Sometimes you got to give that just a little bit of help. Don't pry too like that. Don't pry too hard. Then this comes off too. So no, all's good. It just went flying. You have to do that to get to that screw and for the cover to come off. I'll show you what I mean. Let's get them all loose. There we go. A little bit of sand in it. It might have been used one time or something. I have a 4500 that I use and a 6500. The 3500 I bought to collect. I wanted at auction, did not notice the handle was missing. I got it in, I thought, well, that's not going to be a big deal. I can find the handle for it. Shimano still makes the handle, but it's an upgrade handle. It's not the original handle, and it's ugly. It just doesn't look right on the reel. If I were using the reel, life would be good. It wouldn't matter, right? But I don't really use the reel. It's for collection. Or for my collection, I guess I should use a little bit better English. And this cover will fight you because it's got to come off of that shaft right there. Oh my goodness. Come on, girl. You can do it. There we go. And of course the bearing. Now, this was a question on the other 4500. This just answered my question. Did that spacer go on the shaft? Yes, it does. And did the spacer go against the bearing? Which it should, but they had the opposite. They had the shims against the bearing. I don't know. You tell me. And we will clean that cover up. That's all you got to do with that. These will get wiped. These will get sprayed out and wiped down. I don't put them in the ultrasonic. Guess what? That bearing's locked up. That bearing is locked up. That's not a great thing. Let's soak it down and we'll come back to it. That's wild. It's like it's got sand or something in it. This is your Baitrunner piece, and we're going to take it out next. Take a straight blade and break those screws loose, and then run them with a Phillips. A Phillips head screw will slip on you faster than anything. I don't know what it is. Straight blade, good for breaking loose, takes forever to run a screw. So use the two when you've got a slotted screw like that that has this Phillips head in. Just use them both. Note, when you take this apart, this piece here goes over that pin right there. It will pop off, but it's easy to get back on there. It's not something that will drive you insane. It pops right back on. Rotate this around so you can get to that screw right there. There's a keeper. How in the world did that get dirty like that? There's a keeper, it goes in there. And then you can pull the shaft. And then you can pull the cross line. It's in the gear. Oh, this has to come out. Also, pay close attention here. There's a bushing. Take that out and clean that separately. It goes with the crosswind gear. We got a bearing. We can go ahead and pop it. Let's see how it is. Oh, it's good. I don't know why that was so messed up. It's not good. It's not good at all. Like, it has no movement in it at all. Yeah, it acts like it's actually it's got rust in it. Okay. Here's where the fun begins. for your knob. Well, let's leave that on there. There's a C-clip right here that has to be popped out. And it's easier to do it when you got the knob and everything on there. So I set it on the table like this, and I'll take two small screwdrivers like this, and I'll get on. And you can't. This one won't fly out on you most of the time because it's got nowhere to go. You just pop it down, get on both sides of it, just pop it down. I'll show you what it looks like. And I actually have a pack of these. I just found them. I have a pack of those things. That's what it looks like. I ordered some from Shimano when I did my 6500 a long time ago. I lost it in the cleaning process, and so I needed to replace it. So this cog comes out. And then there's a bushing. It's a Teflon bushing or washer. And it comes out. Now I noticed when I took this apart that this was in there backwards compared to every one of them I've ever seen. And I'm wondering if somebody hadn't took that out of there. And it's got a couple of nicks in it. I'm going to have to file them out. That was in there backwards. I don't know. People do weird stuff to these things. To get this out, you got to get down in there underneath it. Well, let's loosen it up. Might make it easier. There it goes. It pops up on its own. That's nice. You'll pull this piece out, and then your knob can come out. The knob has a little plastic, don't break this thing, you'll never get another one. It's a little plastic accent washer on it. You can take that out and clean it. It'll always get kind of grungy from your fingers. Next thing in there is a spring. And then this piece comes out. The washer's still attached. I'm going to lay them out in order here. Whoops. Then you can go ahead and pull that shaft out. The clicker, there's a small drag washer and a clicker, and that's the whole Baitrunner assembly, folks. That's it, from here down to here. Over on this end, it's like a regular old fishing reel. Keeper screw. I think that's a 12 millimeter or whatever. We'll just use the adjustable. We'll come back to that. So here we got another whole stack of stuff. This comes off. You got to carefully pull that wire above that anti-reverse dog. And it comes off just like that. And then this really is just a spacer. I don't think it does anything. There is a washer or shim on there. There's two of them actually. We'll work them off of there. Maybe. Okay, we got them off. There is 3 keeper screws on there. I'll go ahead and take them out. and that keeper comes off, and that just pulls straight out. There's your pinion. That's a good bearing. No problems with that one. I don't need to take this out. I can clean around. There's no point in it. I don't normally take the selector out. They can be kind of a pain. That screw's got to come out and you got to pry that off of there, and sometimes they get a little damaged. So we'll just clean that the way it is. But remember how all this goes together. If this cog falls off of here, you want to know, of course, it won't work but one way, but I always clean all that separate like that. Okay, over here on the rotor, we'll take, that's in there. We'll take this screw out right here on the roller. Oh boy, that might be stuck. The roller is moving, but that screw is stuck. My gosh. The roller's rolling. Executive decision here. I think I'm going to leave it, because I'm going to end up tearing it up and get it apart. And it's rolling, so it's functioning. So let's take this off right here. And then this cover will come off. This is where your trip is. We got to turn this snap ring around and then get up under it and pry it out if I can. Let's get that little screwdriver. Don't let that thing go. There we go. There's a little bitty metal piece down there. Don't lose that. It goes in that slot right there. This spring, pay attention to how it's in there. Hooks in here and here. It's a return spring. Take it out. And then your trip comes out. Over here, you have a screw. And it can be a bear to get to with a short screwdriver. I really need to get me a good long screwdriver for that. Oh, come on. It can be a pain. And then this will come off. Your bell spring will be up under that. Ooh, there we go. I don't want to bend this bell wire. All right, we're going to clean that just the way it is. And the last piece of the puzzle, your bell spring. It's just got a normal old bell spring. That's all of it. I'm going to clean it up. You know what? I forgot to turn my parts washer on, so I may not clean it up today. But it's not in bad shape. One screw right here just did not want to come loose. It might now. I don't know. I don't know. It's loose in the arm, but it's not loose into the. I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, and I got one bearing I need to free up. But other than that, the reel's good. I don't normally take any of this stuff off down in here. It's very hard to get it all lined back up. So I'll leave that alone. Yeah, that one bearing, I'm not sure what's up with that. I might try to run it in the ultrasonic and see if it will loosen up after a minute or two. It seems like every one of these bait runners has a bearing issue. I'm not sure why that is. It's starting to loosen up now. See here? Oh, there. Oh, no, not quite. All right. Let's put some Kroll in there. Stuff just eats rust away. There it goes. It just loosened up. It ain't gonna be quiet anymore. It had rust in it. Look at the rust coming out of it. See how fast that Kroll works? That stuff is amazing. I think it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be a little bit rough. I'll pack some grease in it. Unfortunately, it's getting better and better as it goes. So not bad. Yeah, it's not going to be bad at all. Good. Okay. The other bearings, let me wipe them off a little bit better. We'll just get old. Look at the rust coming out of that one. Look at that. That thing's nasty. We will give the rest of these a little bit of really good oil here. If you just put your oil down around the shield, it will soak itself down in there. That bearing's got a little bit of a knock in it. It's probably dirt. That one's going to have the bearing swirl, unfortunately. But the good news is these are handle bearings, so they don't move a whole lot. They don't move real fast. So you don't really notice a bad handle bearing like you would the pinion bearing. That thing's moving pretty quick. All right, I'm going to heat the equipment up and we'll get to work on this and clean it up. All right, well, here we are. We're back. Just a few minutes later, really. This reel just didn't need a whole lot. And it doesn't need any parts. I'm in a little bit of amazement right now, but let's put it together. Yeah, let's put this thing together. This, of course, we'll start out up here with your bail. Bail spring goes in there. The rotor, I'm sorry. mind right here. And we'll put the cover on it first. A little bit of grease right there where the spring slides on the cover. Won't hurt anything. Just like that. And it takes one of these little small screws. Yeah, the bearings could use replacing, but they weren't wore out. They sat too long. I ended up pulling the shield off the pinion bearing so that I could clean it out good. And I'm going to leave it out, as a matter of fact. And you got your big screw. Once you set your spring into the little hole in there in that bail arm, your next problem is getting this screw to start straight and go straight. Let's just set that in there for now. It's kind of hard with a short screwdriver. Okay. I'm going to go to my new thing of oil here, or grease, because that one is getting a little bit difficult to get the grease out of, and I want to do a nice job on this reel. I'll get the rest of it out of there later. Two things here. You've got a little slide that goes in here, and then there's a little this guy here goes in like this, like that, and this goes in like this, and you got a spring. The long arm goes here and the short arm goes right there, like that. Like I said, that goes in there. I got it in there backwards though. Don't put it in like I put it in. Turn it around like this. And give all that a good little coating there. Don't let that spring fly out on you though. And then this will just sit on there for now. Let's go ahead and put the cover on it. Another small screw. This is the first reel I've done in about 2 weeks that did not need something. And then I'd sit there and wait a week for a bearing or a screw or some little widget to come in. It's been very aggravating. To the point I thought, it's hardly even worth it anymore. Just, we throw the bail, the trip should come out, and when the trip comes back around, it will catch and throw your bail. Now, I didn't take this out. I'm going to take some really good oil and put on that and work it in there. The line roller is rolling just fine. If you want to really work the line roller in good, you take while it's on the reel, pull it up, put your rope in there and pull it back and forth and work that roller back and forth. And that will fix, if it is stuck a little bit, I'll fix it. Okay. What's next? We'll put the pinion in. Oh, I see something I missed. Goodness. Really hard to get all that grease out sometimes. Had a bunch of grease up in there. Okay. Sorry, my nose is probably making noises on the microphone. I've put a 90 weight oil in there. It is in this right here. This is a 90 weight. Like a gear lube in a car. It'll give it, it's not quite as thick as grease, so it'll turn pretty good. Okay, let's go with this. We'll put the shield out. We'll leave the unshielded side in. So the other way, John. Let's get some grease. And this is the Boca lightning lube. We'll get some grease down in there. And this goes in just like this. Okay, and then you got the keeper going like that. And I may have to use, I can't use a screw setter. These are Phillips. I'm just going to have to fight my way through it. I'm just beyond myself that I don't have to purchase something, some little bitty part, and wait for it. I was about to give up. I about had enough of fishing reels for a while. And it's not these bait runners. The bait runners have been in pretty good shape. It's the bearings for the other bait runner. That video will be out after this one comes out. You'll see it was a real pain. And then bearings for a Daiwa /20. And bearings for a Penn Squall 2, 12 size. And my casting special, Squall casting special, 15. Awful time getting parts for those reels. They're bearings. I'm going to ABEX 7s in them. Here is 3 shims, which is what came out of it. Go back in. Okay. And then this is, I'm not sure what that does. It's got teeth on it, but they don't contact anything. But it goes in next. I think it's just a spacer, to be honest with you. And then this cog has to go in the right way. It'll go like that. It slides on there. And then I get that lined up, and that spring pops over that. So when you're reeling, all's good, but when you stop reeling, you backpedal, it locks into the plate. And that, I guess that has something to do with the cast, where you want it to line up the cast. I don't normally worry too much where that lines up at, but I'll pay attention to it on this one. Just because. And we're going to give all this a little bit of oil. There we go. It's ready for the rotor. So we will put this on. I think this is the way it would go. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that's right. And then just a little bit of blue grease on those threads. And we'll tighten this down. Something didn't look right, but it was just because I haven't tightened the nut down yet. And about right there. And then this screw will go in just to work as a brake or a lock, positive lock on that nut, rotor nut. All right. Yeah, that's where you would pick the line up. So I got that set right. That feels pretty good. It's got a little crunch to it. Just a little crunch. We'll be okay. I'll put the bearing in. Okay, we'll go take some grease. Of course, we'll put the bushing in there. That bushing goes right there on the cross line. Now, you know what? Before I put that stuff in there, let's build the Baitrunner part. Yeah. Wouldn't hurt to put just a little bit of grease on that. A little dry. This will go in there just like that. Then you got the Teflon bushing. Put that down in there. Kind of tuck it back in place. Then they had this in backwards. I think somebody had been into this thing because it was also kind of hammered up where it wasn't catching right. We'll see if I got it right, but it goes, the smooth side goes out. They had it the other way around. I've never taken one apart that wasn't like that. So, and to get that in, you have to flip the Baitrunner on and put the, so you'll flip this up and put that in there, and then you can flip it back down and it'll catch it. And then you just put this C-clip right on the end. It holds, that's your whole Baitrunner lock, I guess you could call it, for lack of a better term. Put that on there, push it in place. I don't think I got it in place. I don't know why that's like that. There it goes. Make sure you get it. Okay, so that's done. This is your little drag washer that goes into the Baitrunner section. We'll put some cowls on that. And it will go right down in there. Just tuck it in place. Okay. And then your clicker. And it contacts the clicker on this. So don't worry if you don't see anything there. Like, why'd I do that? Then you got your little Teflon washer can go on there. And a little bit of oil doesn't hurt that. And then here is your tab. And those ears go up towards you. And it goes in there just like that. Spring sits in place. And then down in here, you got two Teflon washers. And then a regular washer, or shim, goes in there. And also, don't forget this spacer ring. I always seem to forget that. Don't break it. You'll never find another one. When I buy a reel like this, I buy every spare part I can find on eBay. And there's none of these around. Things I know that will break, you know. There's none of these little rings around. You probably have to buy a whole reel to get it. Now, just drop that out there. Let's put that back. Just like that. And then this, golly, John, doesn't want to behave. And so this piece on the inside's got two teeth in it. They go onto that little lock there. Right like that. Then this piece, which is your horseshoe lock, the curved end goes to the bottom of the reel. So it goes in like that. And so then you can adjust your Baitrunner part. Okay? Pretty slick, ain't it? Now we can build this. Put some grease on your cross line. The internals of this reel are beautiful. It's not been fished hard at all. Put that on there. I'm going to grease that up good, because that crosswind block goes in there. It goes on those. There's two little slides or guides or whatever you want to call them down in there. I'm also going to oil the Baitrunner section. Get some oil on that. I'm going to oil the main drive gear up. Grease it, I'm sorry. Go ahead and put your crosswind block in there. I think it's hard for this gear to go around that. No, it goes in there. Okay. It didn't come out as easy as it went back in. Now you can take your axle shaft. I'm going to put a little bit of a thick, I'm going to try a little thick grease. That's not thick. This is thick. Let's put a little thick grease on that. See how it does. And that will go in. And it goes through the crosswind and into that Baitrunner section. And then it goes through till there's two little grooves. One's on each side of the crosswind block. And you'll take this keeper and just slide into those grooves and fold it around. And then your screw can go in. And I'm going to need help with that because I cannot get my fingers down in there. I can't believe this reel has come apart so well and going back together so well. Waiting for the hammer to drop. But I think it's going to be fine. It's a good little reel. Okay. We got that. It came apart with the two shims against the bearing, but that's not correct. Somebody's been into this. The spacer goes against the bearing. I'll put the bearing back in its pocket there. Now, your Baitrunner, I lubricated it with Ballistol. And it goes in here, it slides over that shaft. This, you'll have to use something with a hook on it. You pull this over and it pops onto that shaft. And then this pops back over to that little pin. Now, didn't want to seem to go. There it goes. I don't want to stay there for some reason. Not sure what's up with that. All right, we're going to hold on to that for a second while we put this in there. That's the whole piece right there that makes the Baitrunner a Baitrunner. Without that, it's just a reel. Okay, don't over tighten these screws. You're going into plastic. So when you throw the Baitrunner section up, those pegs come around and catch that plate right there. Watch. It pushes it, pushes it, pushes it. Pop. It's back to being a regular reel. Isn't that ingenious? I'll have to say. Whoever designed that, smart dude. All right, we'll put our cover on it. Everything in place. Everything should go together easily. Yep, pops right in place. This screw goes with that. We got 3 larger screws and 1 small screw. Goes in the cover. Get the right screwdriver going here. Don't over tighten. I don't know if somebody removed the shields out of them other bearings or not. It seems like my other reel had, my other 4500 had shielded bearings in it from the factory. They were locked up. They had gotten a lot of saltwater intrusion in it. And they didn't make it. Okay. Where it says Baitrunner on it, that goes up like this. I think it'll only go one way. This goes into that and then onto that shaft. And then you come over here on this side and put this screw in. Tighten it all down. Whoop. All right. You can go ahead and put your cap in there. Maybe put just a little bit of grease in that for those threads. I'm going to set mine up for left-hand crank because I'm a normal person. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, folks. I don't know how people that are right-handed use right-handed bait casters. I'll never understand that. I don't care as long as I live, I'll never understand it. Cast with your right and switch hands. Yeah, that makes sense. Boy, I tell you what, she's pretty. She's pretty. All the lettering and everything's still sharp on it. Though it's missing a little bit of red paint right there. I could actually fix that if I wanted to. I don't know if I am or not. We'll take a Q-tip and get a couple last little wipes up in here and down in here. Just kind of clean it all up good. All right. Smooth. Look. It'll just get smoother the more you use it. All right, let's do the spool, and then we can see how the Baitrunner works. And I'm not going to put that shield back in there. We'll just say goodbye to it. I don't know that I need to do anything with these strags. They're still in good shape. I may just put a little drop of oil on them or something. So we go felt, keyed, felt, weird, that has more like a grease on it. The oil will be fine. Felt. And then your last is keyed. Your seal, need to wipe it out just a little bit. It's got some crud in it. Try to set the shield back with the screw slots about where they were. It'll look a little better. And when you see my other 4500, which is a 4500A, when that video comes out, I took a 4500B spool and modified it to fit an A. So that turned out really cool because the A spools were all black and they were all graphite. The B has a metal spool. That's one of the upgrades to this reel. So that's a good thing. Let's wipe it out good. We will put a little drop of oil on that clicker. And then get it all lined up, it'll go on there. Let's wipe this off good. Another improvement to this reel was with the spool was the sealed spool, and this cover is a full cover, whereas the A has just like the Daiwa 3-star type thing. And so this is an upgrade to the B. So let's see how the free spool works. First, let's give it some drag. Drag works really good. Wait a minute, what's going on with it? Oh, that's not sounding good, is it? Yeah. Okay, we might have a problem with it. No, that's probably right. No, it can't be right. You see that, how it's doing that? Ah, that's not good. It's not put together wrong. It's that gear, that cog in there, skipping. It's working fine in the position it's supposed to work. I've never noticed if they do that. It might be normal. Let's look at another one. Oh, shoot. Everything's falling. Let's lock the drag down to 65. Yeah, it does the same thing. Huh. That's odd. I never noticed that before. But it was doing the same thing, see? But that doesn't matter because it only has to work this direction, so it may be a design into the reel. I'm going to call it okay because it's not going to affect the performance of the reel. The drag would always pull out. Would always pull out like that. So I'm going to call it good. I'm real happy with the way it turned out. There's a 4500. I got the whole set now. It took me a while to get them, several years actually. 4500. 3500 with a god awful looking handle. And a 6500. There they are. Isn't that cool? This is the, well, this is a B, but they just, I don't know why they don't have B on them. But this does have B on. And that's a god awful looking handle. There it is, the whole set. All right, well, this is John, Vintage Fisherman. Thanks for watching my Baitrunner series. There'll be 4 videos on Baitrunners. It pretty much covers all but the newer Baitrunners. All these older, like the say the 354, well, it was 450. It wasn't a 350. It was 450 and a 650. Then the 4500, 6500, then the 3500. It'll cover all those, but it won't cover the newest models, which are smaller. And you look at this, you say, what's a 4500 reel? And that's not a 4000 size reel. That's like a 6000 size reel. And this is a 6500. It's more like a 8000 size reel. So their numbering was weird back then. But anyway, there they are. This is John, Vintage Fisherman. I appreciate y'all watching this series on the Baitrunners. And take a kid fishing, man. And please like and subscribe. And get out and weigh the line. I'm going to as soon as I feel better. Talk to you later.